We in these streets.
I want y'all to understand something. This is why we say you need to watch this fucking show. This is why we say you need to watch our breakdowns. Okay? I don't give a fuck if my prediction was right or not. What I told y'all how the fight played out that way, and I damn near came close to my prediction being right.
Right.
I said I could see that motherfucker winning by split decision. Jack Catterall, he damn near did.
Right.
He was one referee fucking asshole deduction point away from fucking winning.
Let me just play this real quick, man, while we're here. You know what I'm saying? Let me just do this, man.
Well, yeah, undisputed junior welterweight champion Josh Taylor, keeping his word, standing in division to give Jack Catterall a chance, who decided to step aside so Jose Ramirez could fight Josh Taylor. And we all know what happened, right? This fight is being given a gross injustice with the lack of fucking attention it's getting. Mm-hmm. This is gross. I'm sorry. All you so-called boxing aficionados, all you so-called boxing motherfuckers who, talk like the 4 criteria of boxing, and you all about boxing and all that. Where the fuck is your videos on this? Where's your conversations about this?
Good point.
This is a very high level, high class fight that you guys are about to watch. Now, I will say this, like my man pointed out, I didn't particularly like how Josh Taylor looked at the weigh-in.
Yeah, right? He looked gaunt.
And remember, he had an injury that prevented him from going through with the fight was supposed for first fight date. Now, let me explain something to you guys about injuries, right?
So you pretty much said, right there that this was going to be a high level fight. And then I followed up after that without going too much into the video and said, this is a chess match.
Yes, you did.
The majority of people thought that Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor was going to be a walkover fight for Josh Taylor. Hell, even Top Rank is live on their broadcast on ESPN, right? The guys that y'all call great boxing minds, so-called, are even sitting there admitting on ESPN that they didn't see this coming, right? And then tried to say nobody saw this coming. That's bullshit. Bullshit. Told y'all this could happen. We told y'all not only on that show we just showed you that this could happen, but shout out to my man Jarrell Fletcher, writer for Three Kings Boxing. He wrote an article on threekingsboxing.com stating that Jack Catterall cannot be overlooked. Mm-hmm. He said this. So while Top Rank is over there saying nobody saw this coming because we're the greatest, and if we didn't see it coming, then nobody else did. Three Kings Boxing is over here telling you, hey guys, this could happen. Go ahead, bro.
Wait a minute. Not only did we tell y'all that it could happen, we gave y'all reasons as to why it could happen, right? Yep. One of the key points that my man pointed out, I said, hey man, because they was talking about they didn't see it coming only because Jack Catterall didn't fight the level of guys that Josh Taylor fought. I mentioned that too, but I also said, but the motherfucker's been sparring. Chief sparring partner for guys like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather.
And my man followed. Yep, that was the main fucking point.
Yep.
Like when you're sitting there sparring with guys like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. I didn't even know about Canelo. Top Rank said Canelo.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that one either. That's a new one.
Right. When you're sitting there, when you're learning the craft against some of the best to ever do it, right? And you're in that same environment with the best to ever do it over and over again for an extended period of time, you're going to walk away knowing something, learning something new, right? You're going to change what you do. I made the analogy yesterday. If you're sitting there training with Michael Jordan for fucking 3-4 months, eventually you walk away from that training session, you're going to be like, damn, I know some shit because Michael Jordan taught me. You're going to walk away learning something. You're going to be a much better basketball player. Same thing with Jack Catterall. He's a much better boxer now. And that was the key point that we made in the last video. The experience that he gained being sparring partners for these guys, these top-level dudes, some of the best to ever do it, is why he was able to be what he was in tonight's fight, bro.
But the most embarrassing thing about it, ESPN has the same, if not the better amount of ability to gather information than we do.
They don't care. And that's why I tell people, stop following these big entities just because they're big entities. That does not mean that they know what the fuck they're talking about.
No, because
Andre Ward is a fucking 2-division champion, right? Tim Bradley's a 2-division champion or 3-division champion, whichever one it is. That doesn't mean that they know automatically what the fuck they're talking about. Now, shout out to Tim Bradley. Hey, everything I've ever said about Tim Bradley. Hey, dog, he's racist, dog. Tim Bradley's the baddest motherfucker on TV.
This nigga has a moment of hey, nigga,
yeah, right.
Nigga, a dead clock is right twice a goddamn day.
You're
okay?
fucking right about that. A dead clock is right twice a day. And this was Tim Bradley's 2 times a day, because this motherfucker was right during the fight, then he was right again after the fight. For the first time, the first 2 times ever in his motherfucking analysis career has he been correct. The motherfucker's prediction was exactly what we said, right, about Jack Catterall. Now, we predicted Josh Taylor. I predicted Josh Taylor.
Sure did.
Paul actually predicted Jack Catterall.
Split decision.
Right. You said split decision with Jack Catterall. And you almost got that shit right. Honestly, I predicted Josh Taylor by unanimous decision.
You sure did.
I got the right pick, but I don't want it. Because Jack Catterall should have won.
Yes.
This is Jack Catterall's win, bro.
Yep.
Bo got the right prediction, in my opinion. And he literally said to a T almost. Because it should have been a split decision if it were to be a split decision. A close one, it should have went to Jack Catterall. In my opinion, I had Jack Catterall winning this fight. I believe, what did I have it? I think I gave Josh Taylor 4 rounds. Maybe 5, right? Can't remember. But you got the 10-8 round, he knocked down Josh Taylor. Then the fucking referee took away the 10-8 round, right?
Yeah.
Then he took away another point, gave it back to him.
Yeah. So
the referee in this fight actually contributed to the fucking robbery.
Yeah, he did.
You see what I'm saying?
He
now,
did.
in my opinion, it would have been like this anyway. And we talked about that in the last show. He's in Scotland, right? He's not a big-name fighter. Josh Taylor's a big-name fighter on most people's pound-for-pound list, right? This was a robbery waiting to happen for Jack Catterall, right? Unless he went out there and completely dominated. In my opinion, he fucking dominated. He did. I had Jack sweeping the first 6, bro. I didn't give Josh Taylor a fucking round.
Yeah, yep. I remember that too. You didn't give him around to like the 7th. I remember that.
Yeah. I didn't give Josh Taylor a fucking round in the first 6, bro. He didn't do anything to win. He was getting beat to the punch, right? Jack Catterall, 4 criteria boxing, guys. 4 criteria judging. Controlling the distance, dictating the pace, right? Ring generalship, all 3 of those are in the same, right? You got defense, accuracy, and effective aggression.
Yeah.
Ring generalship in the first 6 rounds, easily Jack Catterall. It was his fight.
Agreed.
Josh Taylor was trying to get inside to work the body of Jack Catterall, but Jack Catterall kept peppering with that goddamn straight left hand. And then he would mix it up. Hey, you think I'm going to hit you over the top, right? Nope, to the body. Here you go. So that kept Josh Taylor guessing. He didn't know where the punches were coming from. Accuracy, Jack Catterall again. Straight left hand jab, accurate all fucking night long, bro. For actually all 12 rounds, honestly. Right?
Yep.
Defense, Jack Catterall again. Why? Because Josh Taylor was trying to get inside. He was going to the body. He did pretty good to the body in the second half of the fight, right? But the first half, the first 6 rounds, he was missing. Man, I saw Jack Catterall bobbing and weaving on the inside. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I did too. It shocked me because I remember that was one of the things. Shout out to you. You said that Catterall cannot let it be an inside fight. He loses that.
Right.
And you said, and in the second half of the fight, if you watched it, when Taylor tried to make it that, he was more successful than Catterall was.
Exactly.
So you was spot on with that one.
Exactly. And then the last one, effective aggression, Jack Catterall wasn't being the aggressor per se, right? The aggressor was Josh Taylor for the entire fight. However, it was not effective until like round 9 or so.
Yep. Round 9 through 12. I give him that.
Yeah. It wasn't effective until later on in the fight. So Jack Catterall sweeped, in my opinion, all 4 top criteria for judging a fight on a round per round basis. Jack Catterall sweeped that shit in the first 6 rounds of this fight, bro. It wasn't until the second half, maybe due to fatigue, probably the body work, in my opinion. Because Josh Taylor was working the body.
I think
he was just losing the rounds because Jack Catterall was doing more than him, right? The body work of Josh Taylor was fatiguing Jack Catterall. So Jack Catterall at that point in time started going on the back foot and lowered his output. When he lowered his output, you see Josh Taylor, he's revving it up, right? Because he's like, I'm not trying to lose this fucking fight. So he's even applying even more aggression, right? And you see Jack Catterall doing a lot of tying up in those latter rounds because he's trying to get it breathing, because he's trying to have Josh Taylor smother his work, which was another good thing I want to say. In the early half of the fight, let me go back to this real quick. The reason why Josh Taylor was ineffective with his aggression is because Jack Catterall would change levels, man, and step forward every single time. This is the same shit, right? This is the same shit you saw against John Ryder versus Daniel Jacobs. Yep. Changing levels and stepping in, making your opponent smother his work while he's coming in. See? This is exactly what Jack Catterall was doing to Josh Taylor. Boy, oh fucking boy, nigga. I don't understand in what universe you have Josh Taylor winning this fight. He has maybe at best, Bo, 4 rounds. At best.
Listen, man, let me explain something to y'all. And the reason why I said him sparring with Floyd, him sparring with Pacquiao, and then of course we find him sparring with Canelo. The subtle movements that Catterall was making, understand, Catterall being the smaller man was effective with his jab. You know why? Because when he jabbed, he moved his head. The jab punches of fucking Josh Taylor was doing this. Josh Taylor couldn't get a beat. Typically what you use the jab for is to blind the guy for what's coming or to give him something to think about what's coming. If you throw a jab and that jab don't hit a dude at all, like hit him right, you're not going to follow up with anything. And it been because that Jack Catterall was moving that head slightly, causing that jab to slip off of him, it was preventing Josh Taylor from trying to follow up with like Josh Taylor loves trying to come over the top with that straight right hand down on top of him. He did it to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, he was killing him. Yeah, he was killing him with that.
You know what I'm saying? He even like to hit you with the jab over the top, then slide, and then hit you with the uppercut. He did it again, Jose Ramirez.
Right.
Hell, he caught Regis' program with the motherfucker.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So those subtle movements. Well, where do you learn that from? You learn that from sparring with a motherfucker like Floyd. You learn it from sparring a motherfucker like Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? The veteran ring generalship he has to slip and slide and get out of the way and stay on his toes. You learn that from sparring Manny fucking Pacquiao. This is why I told y'all, and this is why my man said what he said. It don't necessarily matter all the time who a guy fights. If you look at a guy overall body work, who he's working with, there's room for improvement. Because I'll guarantee you, nobody Josh Taylor fought is a Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez.
So what you're basically saying is that what Josh Taylor brought into the ring tonight, Jack Catterall was already mentally prepared for because of the experience that he got sparring with Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and Canelo. That's what you're saying?
Exactly.
Boom. Makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me.
So when I hear these guys talking about something, I'm surprised at what I saw from Catterall. How are you surprised at what you saw from Catterall if you're telling me you know boxing? How?
Right.
How are y'all surprised? How are y'all upset? Timothy Bradley talking about something, taking John Taylor off his pound-for-pound list, horrible performance. He fought a mother. Listen, understand something, man. You don't fight a Jack Catterall like, hey, I'm fighting another top-level fighter. No, you fight a Jack Catterall like, this is a motherfucker that whooped my ass. That's how you fight a Jack Catterall. That's how you prepare for a Jack Catterall. I wish a motherfucker would look at me and say, hey, I'm going to fight Bo as if, you know, he's a top 50-year-old. Nigga, you getting your ass whooped. Because you better prepare for one that's about to beat your ass.
Right.
And that's what it is. And I was so upset listening to Andre Ward, listening to these guys. I'm like, man, at one point I just wanted to turn my fucking TV. I'm like, man, turn the sound off. Fuck these niggas. Because I'm like, how are you surprised? I'm not saying, listen, Tim Brown, you want to take him off your pound list, that's fine. I'm not taking him off the pound list because he fought a guy that I knew was tough for him to fucking fight.
Exactly. And that statement was killing me. And before I do that, my man Diallo Hoogie, he put $2 on it. He said robbery 100%. Josh got away with dirty tactics. He's absolutely right, and that's one of the things I'm going to get into in a minute here is the dirty tactics, the tactics that Josh Taylor was employing. But agreed, bro. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Josh Taylor should be taken off the pound for pound list, right? Because he won the fight. I mean, he lost from what we're seeing, but the official decision, he won, right?
Right.
You have to go by the official decision, okay? Now, did he lose to me, to Bo, and everybody probably in this chat? Abso-fucking-lutely, he lost, right? But the official decision is that he won. Also, that's number one. Number two, as Bo mentioned, if you knew who Jack Catterall was, you understood from the onset when this fight was fucking announced. Matter of fact, you knew the chronicled history of the two, right? Jack Catterall been this motherfucker's mandatory for a minute. Actually, Jack Catterall started off as Maurice Hooker's mandatory.
Sure did.
Maurice Hooker ended up fighting Mikel somebody, some nigga from France, instead of Jack Catterall. Leprez. What is it? Mikel Leprez or some shit? Les Pierre, whatever.
Les Pierre,
Mikel Les Pierre. Yeah. Fought him instead of Jack Catterall, which he should have, because Catterall would have fucked him up. And Three Kings was telling y'all back then that Catterall would have beaten Maurice Hooker. We said this, right? Then, after that, he stepped aside to allow Jose Ramirez, right, to face Josh Taylor and Undisputed, because obviously Jose Ramirez beat fucking Maurice Hooker and took his WBO title. So he stepped aside, allowed the Undisputed fight. And we said whoever wins that, Jack Catterall is going to give trouble. We said if it's Jose Ramirez, Jack Catterall might fucking beat him.
Yeah.
I said that.
Hell yeah.
All right. We know it's Josh Taylor. And then now Jack Catterall is like, my turn. I stepped aside twice. For the last champion, now for the new champion. For the last two champions, now I want you. Time to fight. So if you know the history, and if you know who Jack Catterall is, and you've seen his fights, and you know who he sparred, then this isn't a surprise. Right? It was a good fight to see that the underdog actually took it to the fucking champion, and in my opinion, exposed him in his hometown in front of all his fans and all his hoes. All of them. All them Scottish bitches out there like, Josh Taylor, you okay? That's what they're doing right now. He got his ass whooped. Right?
Yeah, but Catterall, girl, has some big old knockers on him.
Yeah. Point is, right? Point is this. At the end of the day, bruh, he went there and did that shit. That right there, if you want to be surprised, is the fact that he was able to do it in Scotland. If you want to be surprised.
Yeah.
Stylistically, that's not the surprise. No. If you knew who Jack Catterall was. So I'm not going to take him off the pound for pound list because he had a tough fight with a guy he was supposed to have a tough fight with. I said in the last show, I said, hey, man, this fight is 55-45. And then I said the only reason why I'm saying 55-45 is because Jack Catterall doesn't have the experience as a pro, right, in terms of on his resume that Josh Taylor has. That's the only reason why I said it's 55-45. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did.
But stylistically, we said this was a close fight. So Josh Taylor wins officially. He stays on the fucking list, y'all. The thing is with Top Rank is that, and my man, shout out to my man Jarrell again. He said that, and Sakura's comments, bro. He said that Top Rank is being apologetic for Josh Taylor.
Mm-hmm. They sure are. Yeah, he did say that.
He said they're being completely fucking apologetic, right? Start from the top, man. There's a lot of comments at the top. So at the end of the day, bro, that's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, we thought we sold y'all that Josh Taylor was the guy to win this fight. And we don't know why he fought like that. Andre Ward even said this. Hell, Andre Ward's scorecard was shitty.
Yeah, it was.
Up until the championship rounds. I'm looking at, I think it was like the first 5 rounds. This motherfucker had Catterall winning the first round, and then Josh Taylor winning,
sweeping him.
second, third, and fourth, and fifth. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing, bro? What fight is he watching? How's Josh Taylor winning 4 out of the first 5 rounds? What the fuck is he watching? It's because they had so much built into Josh Taylor, bro. Understand, Top Rank was pushing Josh Taylor versus Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, they were.
Understand, Andre Ward and Tim Bradley and all those guys on that panel, they work for who? Top fucking Rank.
Yes, sir.
So when they're pushing for an agenda, right, and the fighter that is a part of that agenda is up for a fight, they have to push for him. And that's why you see that whack-ass scorecard from Andre Ward. That's why you see some of that terrible commentary, right? That's why I got to praise Tim Bradley. This motherfucker did not bow down to the establishment this time.
Hey, Tim Bradley found his alpha male tonight.
He sure did.
He found his alpha male.
I snatched his alpha male card a long-ass time ago. I snatched Tim Bradley's alpha male card when that nigga did a backflip when he got knocked down by Manny Pacquiao in their 3rd fight. And then in the goddamn post-fight press conference, this nigga said, ooh, wee, when he talked about Pacquiao's power. When he did that, that's when I took his alpha male card. He ain't got it back until tonight.
Talking about some going to breakfast with that nigga.
I bet you, yeah, right, talking about eating breakfast with him. But I bet you something. I'm going to have to take it again after this, bro. He gonna do something stupid in the next telecast. I'm going to take it again.
Of course.
But tonight, Tim Bradley was on fucking point for the first time ever.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So when you're listening to guys, and this is why I tell people, man, you listen to the smaller motherfuckers, they know what they're talking about. Like us, 3 Kings, we know what we're talking about, man.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of dudes that used to fight amateur, that saw the bullshit that's going on in boxing where you got YouTubers and then you got the big time media where they're overlooking a bunch of fighters like Jack Catterall, for instance. We saw this and we said, you know what? We'll create our own thing. And I'm not talking about this YouTube channel. I'm talking about 3kingsboxing.com. We said we'll create our own thing where we put the spotlight on dudes that nobody else is putting the fucking spotlight on because they don't know boxing. That is the void in boxing. You guys are fucking following these people that don't know what they're talking about. See? But we do. So come on over here.
come right here.
Exactly.
Well, also you listen to motherfuckers that got no agenda. We don't have an agenda. See, when you don't have an agenda and you are allowed to be free in how you think and what you want to say, right? Then you are being honest. You are being who you really are.
Right.
Let's be real about it, right? You are being who you really are, okay? Those guys, they can't be who they really are because they're being paid to pump the product of fucking Top Rank.
Exactly.
That's why they can't be who they are.
And understand, Jack Catterall is not Top Rank. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Frank Warren. So they're not paid to pump him. See what I'm saying? And that's why I praise Tim Bradley tonight, and tonight only probably. He did a hell of a fucking job tonight, bro. Jack Catterall whooped his motherfucking ass, and he deserves a rematch, bro. But he won't get one.
Hell no.
Josh Taylor's going to take those 4 titles and be like, I win, and run off. That's what he's about to do. I win. I won. Jack Catterall can kick and scream and say whatever he wants. No, dog. I beat you. No. I win. Look at the judges' scorecards. No, I win. That's what he's gonna do.
But the consensus. No. The judges count. Only the judges.
No, the judges never make it. They never make a bad choice. They never make a bad decision. This is perfect. This perfect judging. That's what he's gonna do. And we fucking around. We know he's not gonna say that, but that's the attitude that he's gonna take, right? Because he's not gonna give Jack Catterall a fucking rematch. That would be suicide.
Yeah, that was too hard of a fight.
That's suicide. It's too hard of a fight, and it was a mandatory. He had to take the fight to be able to keep his WBO belt. See what I'm saying? Now it's a situation where if he takes the fight, gives him a fucking rematch, he's just giving him a rematch just to do it. He ain't gonna do that shit.
No.
No way in hell.
And I honestly, to be honest with you, even if he thought about it, when you get in the back room, them niggas in the back room gonna tell him, no, the fuck you're not.
Yeah.
when you get that back
Bob Arum is going to come out of nowhere. All right, Josh, you know goddamn well you're not giving that man the rematch. no way will I ever put you in a fight like that again. That's what he's gonna say.
Yep.
So
Exactly
this was Jack Catterall's moment. This was his opportunity, and boxing fucked him, man. Bro, talk about that terrible ass referee, please.
So, and again, shout out to senior writer Jarrell. He said, "Hey man, this ref's going to be a problem." He said it early on. He said, "Hey man, this ref is going to be a problem." And you know what? He's absolutely right. Here's the thing with a referee. In a championship fight, when there's a lot on the line and it's high stakes, right? You have to exclude yourself from the fight. If guys get tied up, you only come in when they get tied up and you break it up. If it gets a little rough in there, you just make sure ain't nobody hitting low. You make sure, hey man, ain't no low blows. Cool. I'm as long as y'all ain't hitting each other low, I'm good with that, right? To take a point at such a critical moment, not once but twice, and you know what? I believe he did the second one because he realized he shouldn't have did the first one.
Yep.
I truly believe he did that second one to be like, oh damn, I shouldn't have did that first one. Right. That's like when you watch football, right? And they miss a call. They be like, damn. So then they throw a call on something that shouldn't be a call. Right. Well, that's to make up for that missed call.
I agree 100%. I believe that's what he did.
That's exactly what he did. Because there was no reason for him to take a point in that instance right there. Hitting after the bell. Did y'all watch that exchange? Was that really? Come on, man. Stop.
It happens a lot. Now, yeah. Catterall, but look, Catterall took it as you know, a slight, and that's why he fucking swung back, you know, and hit him in the back of the head a little bit. But at the end of the day, as a referee, man, nigga, who are you, the police, motherfucker?
No shit.
This is a sanctioned fight that's legal. Where's your problem? Marcus McDonald, dog, is he in his off time? Is he working with the Scottish police or British, wherever he's fucking from? Is he a police officer?
I have no idea.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Let him fight, man.
Yeah, he kept stepping in. There was a time where Josh Taylor, and let me get on my man that donated, Diallo, I forgot his name, but my bad, dog. Let me get on his shit real quick. Diallo Hughie. He said dirty tactics. Dirty tactics, right, are only illegal when the referee sees it. Understand this. Now, I'm not praising dirty tactics. I'm not. Andre Ward is known for this. Andre Ward was a dirty motherfucker on the inside. Andre Ward knew how to get away with dirty tactics on the inside, right? Because he was a master at administering those dirty tactics. He was a master inside fighter, and then he was a master at masking his dirty tactics. So a lot of fucking referees didn't see it. But if you know boxing, you're a fight fan, you know what you're looking at. You saw it. It's the same thing Josh Taylor was doing tonight. There were times where Josh Taylor were administering those, he was utilizing those dirty tactics, right, to get it, to basically muscle and bully Jack Catterall on the inside, right?
Yeah, agreed.
And Jack Catterall was found with his back up against the ropes, or him on the back foot, which even after this fight, he's still not that great on the back foot, right? But he was being put at a disadvantage. Marcus McDonald, I can guarantee you he did not see any of those dirty tactics. You know, we want to know why? Because he would have taken a point away from Josh Taylor a long time ago, or at least warned. Let me say this. He would have at least warned him for it, right? Now, I know he warned him. He talked about earlier, like, hitting behind the head. Yeah. That's the only warning that I've seen him give Josh Taylor. Hitting Jack Catterall behind the head. That's it, right? But a lot,
go ahead.
But a lot of shit that Josh Taylor was doing on the inside, right? Matthew McDonald, whatever his fucking name is, he'll jump in, and these guys are trying to fight. There'll be a hold up. Jack Catterall will hold him. They're getting ready to fight out of the hold. Marcus McDonald jumps in and breaks him up. What the fuck are you doing? Let him go.
I saw that. That happened a lot too. I saw that.
What that did, and McDonald, I don't know if he knew what he was doing, but he was taking away opportunities from Josh Taylor in those situations. Because when they're on the inside and they're trying to break out of a fucking hold, Josh Taylor's got the utmost advantage in that situation. Jack Catterall's not a great inside fighter, bro. I said this on the last show. He's not. He needs mid-range distance.
Yeah, he does.
When Josh Taylor gets close like that, he has the advantage over Jack Catterall. But Marcus McDonald didn't allow that to happen. He was a terrible ref. He was terrible on Jack Catterall's side, and he was terrible on Josh Taylor's side, man. Go ahead, man.
What I was finna say was, and this again, you got to know refereeing, right? Some of those hit behind the head was because, and it happens a lot, we see it, right? What was Jack Catterall doing? As soon as he felt that arm lift of Taylor, he did this to try to lean his head on his shoulder to get out of the way.
Right.
And sometimes that would cause the punch behind the head.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So as much as, yeah, it's a dirty tap, because fighters know when a fighter's gonna do it. Because when you do it, you kind of loop it outward, thinking this motherfucker's gonna put his head down.
Right.
So you're right. Listen, I want to know one thing, because Andre Ward said the better story was being told by Josh Taylor. What fucking story was you watching? What story was you reading?
Man, Andre Ward was on his shit tonight, bro.
Yeah, no. We finna get his ass, because, and what do we tell y'all? One day you do good, we give you props. But when you do bad, nigga, you gonna get it, right?
But look, the last few shows ago, I've been saying Andre Ward's been off his fucking game, man.
Yes,
I've been saying this shit. He's been off his game.
He was off his. I don't know if being at home is fucking with him.
Right, but what was he talking about? What were you saying he was talking about?
He was trying to say the story of the fact that Josh Taylor was coming forward. Josh Taylor was appearing to be the busier fighter, was appearing to enforce his will. That was the story that was being told, as compared to Jack Catterall, who was going backwards but landing shots when the opportunity presents itself. Well, that's the point. You gotta land, motherfucker.
Right.
You just can't come. Landing shots is how you supposed to judge. Right. So what are you talking about? Because I tell you what I saw a dude that was coming forward because he had no choice but to come forward. I saw a dude getting countered why he was coming forward, because he didn't know how to come forward effectively and aggressively. That's why he was throwing those wild hooks. That's why he was overshooting with the hook and wound up going to the over the top of the head of Jack Catterall. I saw a motherfucker that didn't know how to. Do you know what story I saw? I saw the story keep your head off a goddamn centerline story, motherfucker. That's the story I saw. So I'm trying to figure out. I saw the story of a so-called top-level fighter getting caught by the same punch over and over. I do. One time, Jack Catterall threw that straight left hand so goddamn slow. My old ass could have dodged that motherfucker. I could have dodged it, looked, and be like, damn, nigga. There's some nice threads on your glove, homie.
That's like how when Canelo threw that goddamn right hook, Floyd moved out the way, and Canelo hit the top rope and shit. Yeah. Floyd looked at the rope. Same shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He kept hitting it over and over by the same punch. At the end of the day, man, this is why we tell y'all. And then they kept putting these punch stats up. I think I said in the chat, stop putting up the goddamn punch stats, man.
They're not gonna stop that, Bo. That's for the fans, man. Come on, man. That's for the viewers. They're not gonna stop doing that. They started punch stats like fucking 30, 40 years ago, bro. They're not going to stop putting up punch stats today because boxing enthusiasts tell them to stop. No, bro. Punch stats help with their agenda. Plain and simple. So at the end of the day, you got Andre Ward's bogus-ass scorecard, and viewers of the fight are going to go with Andre Ward's bogus-ass scorecard because of punch stats.
Yep.
That's what it's for. It's for the viewer to help them understand what they can't see because they don't know what the fuck they're looking at. That's what punch stats are for. However, they're extremely skewed. Yeah. Even in that first round, I remember they said Jack Catterall landed 6 punches. I counted 5 or 6 jabs alone. I didn't even count the straight left hand that he landed a couple times in that round. I didn't even count that.
I couldn't understand that. That shit. But yeah, no, man. This is why we tell y'all, man. If you learn the sport, see, I don't depend on them motherfuckers to tell me what I'm watching, right? You know how many times I've heard people say that, oh, I thought so and so won because listening to. I don't need these motherfuckers to tell me who won the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't listen to these motherfuckers any goddamn way because I don't care what their opinion is, because I know my knowledge of what I'm watching is far fucking better. At the end of from rounds 9 to 12, you can make a very good case that Josh Taylor ran the fucking tables. I'll give you that. You can make a very good case he did, because like my man pointed out, as the work of Jack Catterall starts slowing down, right? That's when that of Josh Taylor start to increase. I truly believe that not only was it the body punching that was messing with him, listen, to hold a motherfucker as much as Catterall trying to hold Josh Taylor, that takes something out of you too. Over the course of 12 rounds, that takes something out of you, because mind you, trying to match another man's strength, or when somebody lean on your neck, that takes something out of you also as well. Okay. So yeah, during that second half, his rate went down, but it still didn't stop the fact he was still able to land his jab. He was still able to be effective with his punches.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, I picked the man to win by split. I could see him win a split decision, but at the end of the day, if anybody out there is telling me that, oh man, what is Jack? Like, dude, if I go to a comment and hear somebody say in a room comment, "Hey man, what is new nigga Jack Catterall come from?" I'm leaving the whole room, nigga. I'm leaving the whole room.
Right. My man Ruben Gutierrez said, "Not exactly a robbery. I seen worse." I know, Ruben. That Canelo Erislandy fight, that was worse, bro.
Yeah, you fucking worst I've ever seen.
He ain't gonna like that one. Yeah. He ain't gonna like what I just said right there. Yep. Yeah, that Canelo Erislandy fight, that was way worse than this shit. I agree.
This shit, I agree.
I agree, bro.
That Canelo Alvarez getting a scorecard on Floyd was way worse than
Hell yeah, getting a goddamn draw scorecard. That was 10 times worse than this shit. I agree with that. Ruben. We're on the same page, dog. I agree. But where does Josh Taylor go from here, man? 147. I know my man Chris M in the chat. He said something about moving up to 147. Mm-hmm. See if I can find his comment. But what do you think? Here it is right here. He says, if Taylor move up to 147, who the highest ranked opponent WBO 140 not named Jack Catterall? Let me ask you this before we go to that question. Who do you think, or let me say, where do you think Josh Taylor goes from here? Because he kind of left shit open-ended. He said, hey, you might see me at 140 for the rest of my career, mm-hmm. or you might see me go to 147 because I got career aspirations of becoming a two-time a two-division champion, right?
Right.
Jose Zepeda is the possible next guy for him. Could be mandated by the WBC. Regis Prograis rematches out there. You know, Jose Ramirez fighting Jose Pedraza, which should be an easy win for Jose Ramirez. Got all these fights from him at 140. What do you think is next for him, man? What should he do?
He should go to 147. He should definitely go to 147. Now, I don't know how effective he can be at 147 when you got guys like Rashidi Ellis, Boots Enos, even Virgil Ortiz is. I think he beats him, but it's a tough fight because Virgil Ortiz is with Robert Garcia. He knows how to stick to them. Because mind you, the basics was beating Josh Taylor today from Jack Catterall. And one thing that Robert Garcia will keep you with is them goddamn basics, right? So I think Virgil Ortiz Jr. is a good fight for him. Boots Enos, no. That like there's a lot of fights out there at 147. I think is dangerous for him, but he has to go to 147 because I think physically he realized tonight physically he just can't do it no more at 140. And in his mind, although he rates Jack Catterall as a tough opponent, I don't think he rated Jack Catterall as being on the same level as him. So because he struggled with a Jack Catterall like that in his mind, he probably feels like, hey man, it's got to be this weight. So for me, if I'm him and if I'm someone on his team, I'd say, hey man, we're gonna make a run at 140 for you, man, because you can fight like Jose Benavidez Jr. There's some guys you can fight the top rank will feed you. You know what I'm saying? Hell, maybe bring Jesus Vargas out.
Yeah,
bring Jesus Vargas out.
Josu. Hey, bro, you do not. Hey, dog, leave Josu Vargas alone, bro. Leave that man alone because I'm gonna tell you something. At the end of the day, bro, you bring Josu Vargas out to fight fucking Josh Taylor out of nowhere, you're gonna have his brother looking like this again.
Knockout victory. You can see the fans heartbroken here for Jose Vargas.
His brother gonna do that again, bro, if he fights Josh Taylor. So leave him alone. Wherever Josu, wherever his name is, wherever he's at, let him be, dog. Josh Taylor will annihilate this motherfucker, man. No, I don't like that fight, bro. I'm very upset that you mentioned him. That's a terrible matchup.
That's to get him acclimated. You know what I'm saying?
That's a terrible man. Josh Taylor will beat the shit out that dude, bro. Man, look, to answer my man Chris M's question, the highest ranked fighter in the WBO rankings at 140 is Liam Perro, the cat from Australia, undefeated fighter from Australia. At 147, of course, everybody should know, is Virgil Ortiz. Then second is Boots Ennis. Those are the top ranked fighters at 140 and 147. Not named Jack Catterall by the WBO. Liam Perro, he beats. Arnold Barbosa's number 3. Barbosa's getting ready to fight Teofimo Lopez, though. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. Tonight's performance, Virgil Ortiz might beat Josh Taylor, bro. Boots, we are.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't going to talk about that.
Stop.
We're not even going to talk about that shit.
Stop. Yeah, stop.
But Virgil Ortiz, I might lean in his direction, bro, after tonight's performance from Josh Taylor. I'm just saying. In my opinion, man, I think he should stay at 140. I don't want to see him at 147. That is the most stacked division in boxing outside of 115. You know what I'm saying? 147, 115, probably the 2 most stacked divisions in boxing.
That's the breeding ground, guys. That's the breeding
exactly,
ground.
bro. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. What we seen tonight from Josh Taylor, he gets annihilated at 147. I don't want to see him go there. It's not the right move for him. He might outgrow 140 and might not have a fucking choice. To be honest with you, he talks shit about Teofimo Lopez. Man, fuck him. Don't talk about his. I don't want to mention his name no more. Nope. That's actually a fight you should take now.
Yeah,
After the way you looked against Jack Catterall, you probably should take the Teofimo Lopez fight. Because both of you motherfuckers are looking whack right now. Neither one of you should be saying you ain't shit to the other. Neither one of you guys should be saying that. You know what I'm saying?
As a matter of fact, neither one of y'all should be saying you ain't a champion. Hey, I'm a champion and you not. You shouldn't be saying that to him.
Right.
Because you shouldn't really be a champion.
Right. You shouldn't really be a champion, bro. So at the end of the day, that might be a fight you should take. However, since he is still the undisputed champion at 140, I think he should really look at Jose Cepeda. I think he should take on these guys, bro.
That's a tough fight.
It's a tough fight, but Jose Cepeda is very inconsistent.
Yes, he is. I give you that one. Yeah.
You're right. It's a tough fight, but it's only tough if Jose Cepeda is fighting the way Jose Cepeda should be for that given fight. If the Jose Cepeda shows up that fought Ivan Baranchyk, Josh Taylor wins that fight.
Yeah.
If it's the Jose Cepeda that made Josue Vargas' brother cry like that, then that's a tough fight. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
I can see Top Rank making a fucking rematch with Jose Ramirez. I think regardless of how Josh Taylor looked tonight, he always beats Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
So that's a big money fight, right? That Josh Taylor could tap into. And in my opinion, it's more of a win for him because he's already fought the guy once. And in my opinion, he dominated the fight. Wasn't close. He dominated the fight against Jose Ramirez, right? So all he has to do is go back, right, to what he did in that first fight against Jose Ramirez. He makes a lot of money, and it should be a win for him. And it's still a big name. Jose Ramirez is still a big name in the division. He's still considered one of the top 3 fighters at 140.
To your point about Jack Catterall not going to rematch him, at the end, when they asked him about a rematch, he said, "No, there's a point of rematching him. I won. I clearly won the fight, and it was a mandatory, so there's no point of rematching." So he said, "So you're right."
I mean, it's not going to happen, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even need that comment. We already know it's not going to happen because it was a fucking mandatory.
Yep.
And it was a fight that everyone thought he was going to win, and the nigga escaped by the skin of his teeth. The hairs on his chin. You know what I'm saying? He escaped. He barely fucking escaped. He's not going to go that route again if it's not mandated. No. So, yeah, that fight's not going to happen. Look, in my opinion, you know who he should fight? Not Jack. Josh Taylor. You know who he should fight?
Ooh.
IBF mandatory Jeremiah Ponce. That's who he should fight next. And people are going to be like, what the fuck is 2K talking about? Let me tell you why. Jeremiah Ponce beat Lewis Ritson, right? Ponce is, I believe, he's still undefeated. He hasn't lost. Mm-hmm. He's undefeated, right? But he's not in Josh Taylor's level. It's a good fight for Josh Taylor to get back the confidence that he had before. Because this fight right here is going to break his confidence. Because he ain't seen social media yet.
Oh, no.
He ain't seen it yet.
That was the one thing Andre Ward said I agree with. He said he's saying what he said in the ring. But when he gets back and he sees social media, and he gonna pull a Timothy Bradley. I know I want to fight, man. Fuck everybody. I want to fight. I want to fight.
Yep.
Well, maybe I didn't win.
Maybe I didn't win.
Maybe I didn't win.
Right. Maybe what do you say after the Pacquiao first fight? Maybe I did lose.
Maybe
Get the fuck out of here, man. Josh Taylor, I don't know. He's not a chump like Tim Bradley was, so I don't think he's going to do that. But at the end of the day, he hasn't seen social media yet. Josh Taylor is still a human being. He's a man.
Yes.
He's going to see everyone, myself, Bo, everybody at Three Kings Boxing, most of the 99% of this chat, I think 100% of this chat, actually. Mm-hmm. He's going to see everybody saying that he got his ass whooped by Jack Catterall, and it's going to break him. So what he needs is a fight like Jeremiah Ponce, #1 contender by the IBF, whoop his ass, get your confidence back.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
Do a rematch with O'Hara Davies, nigga.
Yeah, go pick on O'Hara Davies and shit, right?
Who claimed that he was gonna knock? How the fuck? How O'Hara Davies? And I said that on the show. I saw that's just some hating nigga that mad that the motherfucker beat his ass worse than the first dude. When he was talking about something, he gonna knock out Jack Catterall. Get this nigga out of here with that comment, man.
Right. My man Matt Giacconi said this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back for the British Board of Control. This may have happened one too many times. How can they be fairly held to account? I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, you're right. It happens one too many times. There's way too many robberies and shit that goes down. But I mean, it's not like the BBB of OC has just started doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that has been happening for decades, and it's not gonna stop here. They're gonna do it again, and again, and again.
Well, keep in mind, they're the ones that picked the ref and the one that picked the judges.
Yeah.
They vet these people. So
exactly.
I mean, for them to do some kind of investigation is them saying, hey, we didn't do a good job from start. That's the reason why when you see fighters, I think when Delphine Persoon put in that appeal against Katie Taylor, I knew that appeal wasn't going nowhere because that appeal that would mean that that WBC and the British Boxing Control is going to have to admit that, hey, we didn't do a good job vetting people.
Right.
They're not going to do that.
Right.
So,
yeah, if the BBB OC gets flack for this to the point where there's investigations and some lawsuits are handed down, etc., then you're gonna see that throughout boxing.
Yeah,
and you won't see that throughout boxing, so it's not gonna happen.
No, not gonna happen.
Too much. The BBB OC is too big of an entity out there, bro. For anything like that to happen.
Very, very fucking true.
Yeah, it's like
anything not WBC, WBA, WBO on IBF on it is all controlled by the BBOC.
Yeah, I can't think of the one in Japan right now, but just like them, a lot of shit happens with them. Say it again.
JCC.
Is it the JBC?
Yeah, JBC, Japanese Board of Control.
Yeah, the JBC. Very huge out there in Japan. They fuck up all the time. Way worse, probably way more than the BBBOC.
Hey.
Hold on. The JBC is over there saying that niggas failed tests and didn't really fail them.
That's what I was finna say.
Yeah. The JBC
apologizing to that nigga, that Japanese nigga.
Yeah, it was Kazuda Ioka. The JBC is over there fucking saying Kazuda Ioka failed a damn a drug test due to marijuana and then realized he really didn't. Because they reprimanded him, had to apologize for it. Like, they fuck up all the time.
All the time.
Ain't no sanctions or anything being handed down to them.
Hell yeah.
Ain't shit gonna happen, bro.
The JVC watch film and say, hey, that's a tattoo. That's Yakuza.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Got a tattoo of a bunny rabbit. That's Yakuza.
That's Yakuza. we don't allow that. Yeah, they fuck up way more than the BBBOC. Bro. They're not gonna do nothing, man.
No.
All right, man. The next one, bro. Guillermo Rigondeaux, bro. Hey. Yo, Rigo, you got my man leaving, bro. This is just not good for business. It's not good for business, bro. Rigo.
Hey, this is Rigo career right here. I'm finna vacuum it up.
Rigo is, hey, bro. Man, it's sad too, man, because I really like Guillermo Rigondeaux, man, but he's done.
He's done. Yeah.
There's nothing more for that man, bro. If y'all hadn't heard already, Rigo went to Dubai and fought a guy by the name of Vincent Astrolabio. Filipino guy. I guarantee none of you guys, unless you're from the Philippines, have heard of this dude, man.
Hold on, wait a minute. Say that nigga's name.
Vincent Astrolabio. Fucked up, man.
Wow, what a day.
That's so fucked up, bro.
Oh my God, Astro. Right, he brought you up. Astrolabio.
Exactly, bro. Astrolabia? Right. Nobody knew this dude unless you was from the Philippines, bro. I'm sorry. Don't tell me you knew this guy. I don't want to fucking hear it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looked this nigga up when the fight was announced. Actually, the fight wasn't really even announced.
No.
We got information on it, but that shit went under the radar. A lot of people didn't even know this fight was even happening.
No, man,
You know
that shit came to my house on a placard written in crayon.
Right. Right. That shit came as a memo from some Girl Scout cookies and shit.
That's fucked up. God damn.
Nigga said, thank you for buying your mint chocolate chip cookies from Girl Scouts. Also, Rigo will be fighting Astrolabio.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, bro.
Hey man. Hey, that shit was on the college campus. Motherfuckers thought they was going to class. Oh, Astrolabio class. No,
yeah, I got Astrolabio there. That's third period, nigga. Damn, bro. Yo, that's fucked up, bro. Look here. Rigo went to Dubai, fought the cat, and lost.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be a comeback because he lost to John Rio Casimiro right before that, right? This is supposed to be his comeback fight. And it's actually supposed to be a fight where he needed to look good. He needed to knock this nigga out the ring on some Gerald McClellan fucking Nigel Benn type shit.
Yeah.
On some Joe Smith Jr., Bernard Hopkins type shit. Right?
Yep.
On some Oleg Moskaev and fucking Hasim Rahman shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Need to knock him out the fucking ring. But instead, the person to get dropped in the fight was Rigo. Mm-hmm. Rigo got dropped again. Now, y'all seen this shit against Hisashi Amagasa, right? Mm-hmm. He got dropped against Roberto Marquine, right? Who else he get dropped by? I can't even remember all the guys.
Oh man, he got dropped.
I know he been dropped by them two guys. It'll take you forever, bro. You an old ass nigga. It'll take you forever to figure that out.
Ricardo Cordoba dropped.
Yeah, Ricardo Cordoba. Good shit. Ricardo Cordoba. Yep.
Definitely dropped the one time.
So we've seen Rigo get dropped several times in his career.
Matter of fact, Donaire in they fight, he was dominating. Donaire hurt him and wobbled him. I remember that.
Well, he didn't get dropped, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So he's been dropped several times in his career, right? But these are against, at the time, top-level competition, right? Cordova, Marquine, Hisashi Amagaza, borderline, not really top level, but more known than Vincent Astrolabio.
Yep.
More known than him at that time, right?
Yep.
Now he's going over to Dubai, fighting guys nobody knows and getting dropped and losing fucking close unanimous decisions. He lost his fight 95-94. Once again, Rigo was doing what Rigo does. But here's the problem. He arguably won this fight.
Yes.
Just like he arguably beat John Rio Casimiro. Right? Good shit, Chris M. Donaire said he said Donaire dropped him in the 10th. Okay. Right. So Donaire's another guy to drop him. But he arguably won this fight. The problem is boxing is sick of Rigo's shit.
Bingo. That's what it is.
His shit, bro.
Yeah.
He's going into fights. He's barely throwing any punches. He's got excellent footwork and counter-punching ability, but it's one punch at a time. See what I'm saying? Judges, referees, the boxing gods, right? The elite that handle the sport, because as the world is controlled by a certain number of people, so is boxing.
Yes, sir. Right? Yes, sir.
The boxing elite that you don't see that run this shit, they're tired of Rigo's shit, man. They're tired.
There they are.
This is exactly what he did against this guy. Same thing as the Casemiro fight. Only difference is Rigo actually got hit. That's the difference. Against Casemiro, he barely got fucking touched.
Oh,
and they still said he didn't win because he didn't have enough output.
Nope.
He had the same lack of output here, but instead he got hit. Now, he did control a lot of these rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the score was still close. He did control a lot of these rounds. However, the rounds that they were given to Astrolabio is because of his lack of fucking output, man. If he just let his hands go, even with him getting dropped, I think it was in the 9th round, even with him getting dropped, he still would win the fight comfortably.
Yes, he would. Very comfortably.
Right. It would have been like 118 to 109 or some shit. He would have won comfortably, but he didn't let his fucking hands go. So every round that he didn't control on the 4 criteria of judging, they gave the fucking rounds to Astrolabio. And it turned out that all Astrolabio really needed was 1 10-8 round to win this fight. Judges had it 95 to 94, guys. What that means is if Rigo would have stayed on his feet, he would have won the fight 96 to 94.
Yep.
That's what that means.
Exactly what that means.
Rigo's done.
Yes.
And it's because boxing no longer wants him around, bro. What do you think about this shit, man?
Well, nigga, it ain't just boxing. When and shout out to Mike Wilson, another one of our senior writers over at 3 Kings Boxing. When Mike put the link in the chat to watch it on my phone died. My phone went out. So it ain't just boxing tired of the motherfucker.
Right.
I'm looking, and my phone was in the charge. That motherfucker blinked. I said, "Damn, my phone."
Your phone was like, "Nah, bro, you ain't putting this motherfucker on here." Right.
Even the goddamn phone died. Because when it died, I'm looking like this motherfucker in the charger. The charger's in. Goddamn. My phone said, "Nigga, don't do this to me." Right. The reality is, and it's sad that, and it's kind of a situation where you watch Rigo, right? And this is the reason why I said again, and shout out to you and everybody that was in the chat when we was talking about BC Ramirez, right? The reality is you have to try. I'm not saying that you stick with that same system that got you there, right? Old Rigo in the past was actually knocking motherfuckers out in the early part of his career. Rigo started out running through the fucking division, guys. He was hurting motherfuckers, breaking jaws. He started out a boogeyman. This nigga Rigo went from being a boogeyman to people saying bye-bye to him in Dubai. That's really why they sent him to Dubai, to say bye-bye to him. They put him on that plane, gave him a one-way ticket, and was like, "Hey man, you ain't gotta come back. You good. We'll send the check." We'll send the check. You ain't gotta come back. Because boxing is doing to him the same thing I saw do to George Foreman when he was getting too old and they got tired of seeing that old man in with them young guys taking the beating. They was like, "Listen, look here, dog, we got to send you off." And at the end of the day, it's not because Rigo's getting beat, it's because number one, your style is not something we can make money off of. Number two, you're requiring main event billing. Hear me out on that one, fellas. Rigo is the main event. There's a price tag that comes when you're the main fucking event.
Yep.
So not only, motherfucker, are you boring, you are a 2-time champion that we have to promote, and you are requiring main event billing. Nobody wants to take a loss like that. Sorry. You're a 3-time loser if you tried to do this with Rigo. Right? Sorry. Because we talked about this on one of our shows. Boxing is no longer about the pure. Listen, do I like the way Rigo fights? I definitely like the way he fights, but I will say this. It don't put asses in the seats, and that's what counts in boxing. That's what counts in any goddamn sport. Why do y'all think the NFL changed their rules to make it more fast-paced and fuck that defensive stand bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Same thing with baseball. Nigga popping steroids and shit. Because why? You got to put asses in the seats, man. If you ain't putting asses in the seats, then you do not help me. How do I know this to be true? Well, we had a global pandemic that shut boxing down for 5 months because there wasn't no asses in the goddamn seats. So when you ain't putting asses in the seats, ain't nobody cares, nor they want to watch your product. That's number one. Number two, Rigo does a piss poor job of understanding what the moment is. He'll tell you he know what this moment is. He'll tell you he understands what the moment is. He'll tell you he knows what's at stake. He'll tell you all of that and make you believe that this motherfucker gets it. Then gets
Oh
in the
my
ring and
God.
does what he
He
does.
sure does. He'll be talking shit at weigh-ins and shit, and it's like, damn, nigga, Rigo about to fuck this dude up. And
Yeah,
then gets in the ring and lays a motherfucking egg.
right.
Exactly,
So
bro.
his chances are pretty much up for him. And boxing is showing him, hey man, we're being nice about sending you off, right?
Yeah.
We thought Casemiro was a hint, you didn't take it. So now we finna be real cold to you. You're losing to a nigga named Astrolabio, you know, the science class.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He needs to retire. And he doesn't, Rigo ain't one of them guys need to retire because he doesn't have it. The skill set. He has the skill set. Rigo needs to retire because he's a guy that you're just in the negative from a financial standpoint for trying to promote this guy on your roster.
Yeah, it's a bad look, man. And like I said, at the end of the day, really, boxing is saying we're done. You can keep on fighting if you want to, but we'll keep giving other people the decision wins against you. This motherfucker fuck around and fight Jazza Dickens in a rematch and not break his jaw this time, and Dickens go 12 rounds. Dickens is gonna get the decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro.
no,
So,
it's true. That's true.
one thing that Rigo did say that pissed me off after the Casemiro fight, he was saying that he really won the fight and all that. And then he said, you know, they asked him about why he's stinking up the place all the goddamn time. And he said, this is how I fight. I don't know how to fight any other way. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you fought a totally different way, literally a large part of your career in the first half of it. When you beat Donaire after Donaire got Fighter of the Year in 2012 and you opened up 2013 beating the fuck out of Donaire, you didn't fight like that.
No.
When you beat Rico Ramos, who was a fucking champion at that time, I think Rico might have been undefeated.
Yes,
I had to look that up. But I think, yeah, Rico Ramos
was undefeated.
He whooped Rico Ramos's fucking ass, bro.
Rico Ramos wished the Rigo we saw tonight was the one he saw that night.
Exactly. Right. Ricardo Cardova, Roberto Marquinhos, guys we had already mentioned, you got off the canvas and whooped those guys' asses, bro. Yep. You weren't fighting like that, man.
No.
Right? When you
he
beat
ran
Joseph
over Tion Kennedy, remember that one?
When you beat When you beat Joseph Agbeko, Tion Kennedy was a whack ass nigga though. You don't remember Tion Kennedy? That nigga was being brought along for no reason. When you fought Joseph Agbeko and Joseph Agbeko stunk up the goddamn joint because he was too scared to get caught, right? You were the aggressor in that fight.
Sure was.
People were more mad at Joseph Agbeko than they were at you.
Exactly.
So you don't just fight the way that you say you fought Casemiro. You don't fight like that, bro. No. Not all the time. You know how to change it up. But for some fucking reason, matter of fact, the reason why you became the boogeyman is because of your ability to knock niggas the fuck out, to hurt dudes, to break jaws and shit. What are you talking about? So when he said that after the Casemiro fight, that's what told me times have changed. He's a different guy. I knew he was done then. I was surprised to see he was back tonight, bro. Now he's really done. The fat lady has finished her song, nigga. She ain't just singing. She finished, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, the club is closing, bro. The club is closing.
Lights is being turned out and doors is being locked.
Exactly.
With you inside.
Drunk motherfuckers are getting thrown out. It's over.
Yeah.
Cats is out there trying to get some pussy and shit because the night's over with. Right. It's done.
The Uber cars is already lined up, ready to pick motherfuckers up and take them home.
Exactly, bro. So at the end of the day, man, it's time to hang them up. I like Rigo.
I do too.
I hate what they did to his career when he was at 122 pounds. How Carl Frampton ducked him. Leo Santa Cruz ducked him, right? Yep. Fucking Ray Vargas ducked him, right? All these people were ducking him. I hate that he did that, bro. But at the end of the day, and I'm already on it, Chris M., at the end of the day, bro, Rigo needs to fucking hang him up. And with Rigo losing tonight, My man Richard Abreu is still the best Cuban fighter ever. When I say ever, I mean the best Cuban professional fighter, because the best Cuban ever is Felix Savon, 100%, right? That's the best Cuban fighter ever is Felix Savon.
True.
But the best professional Cuban fighter is Richard Abreu, nigga.
So right now, David Morrell is going to make us forget about Richard Abreu.
Richard Abreu. That's the man right there. Just like Mystical say, the man right there. Yes, that's it right there. Richard Abreu.
You know, even Cubans don't even talk about that nigga Richard Abreu.
I know they don't, right?
I've heard you mention him more than they have.
Richard Abreu went into relative obscurity, bro.
Yeah, he did.
That nigga just disappeared, man. I know he lost the cat from California. Fucking what's his name? He lost to Brandon Rios. I'm sorry, he didn't lose this guy. He beat Sharif Boguer. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
He beat Sharif Boguer, and it had a couple fights after that and won, and then just disappeared. But he should have beat Brandon Rios. He got robbed against Brandon Rios. He whooped Brandon Rios' ass, in my opinion. That's why I say, bro, Richard Abreu, he actually got robbed several times. I remember he got robbed against Bradis Prescott. He got robbed against Hank Lundy. Man, that nigga should be. Listen, Richard Abreu right now should be 24-0, no draws, 8 knockouts.
Yeah, no draws, all right, nigga. Yeah, no draws, all right. Get the nigga out of here. Nigga draws off him, send him on some.
Hey, look, I blame Rigo. I blame Rigo, right? I blame all them Cubans that were supposed to be good fighters that laid a fucking egg. What's your two heavyweights? Damn, boy, I can't remember the goddamn names right now.
About Frank Sanchez and
back in the day, knocked out by Klitschko.
Gonzalez.
There's two of them.
That one cat Gonzalez, I remember him.
Come on, bro, you supposed to know that, bro.
What's the other motherfucker? I can't remember.
Damn, I can't remember that guy's name, bro.
I know one is that Gonzalez cat because he got knocked out by Riddick Bowe with the ponytail. I remember that shit. He got slumped over with the ponytail.
Oh my goodness, man.
What's the other fuck?
I can't remember the two niggas' names, bro, right now, man. I always do. I always remember their names, but it's whenever you go live.
Mike Perez was a disappointment too.
Yeah, Mike Perez was a disappointment. Whenever you go live, that's when shit escapes you. Every fucking time. We in a private conversation. I'm gonna remember these dudes' names.
Solis.
Bro.
That's it. Solis.
Apolinar Solis.
Right.
Isn't it Juan Carlos Gomez? Isn't that his name? Juan Carlos Gomez. That's his name. I remembered it.
Right.
Juan Carlos Gomez and fucking Apolinar Solis. I blame them two niggas. Is why I gotta lean on Richard Abreu.
Hey man, hey, Rance Bartholomew also. You got
Rance Bartholomew, exactly. He's another one. Yup.
That Joel Casamayor in his hair, and it just never the same. Nigga was never the same.
Joel Casamayor, I got him too.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I got to push back on Joel Casamayor just a little bit. Now he's guilty of ducking Floyd. Yes. I'll give you that.
Man, look, that nigga Joel Casamayor lost fights he shouldn't have lost, bro.
Yeah,
pissed me the fuck off, man. So
I
gotta lean on Richard Abreu.
Hey man, we still got Frank Sanchez. We still got David Morrell. I heard Sullivan Beretta's making a comeback.
Sullivan Beretta, get that nigga the fuck out of here. He is down there with Unieski Gonzalez right now. And that's another one. Unieski Gonzalez. We thought that motherfucker was going to be a bad. He was ugly as fuck. And we was like, man, this nigga ugly as shit. He going to be a bad motherfucker. Lay the egg. Luis Ortiz, nigga, he was supposed to knock out Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, he was.
Nigga blew his load. He shot his load. Got fucking tired and died, nigga. Damn. Goddamn Cubans. Hell, Robeisy Ramirez looked like shit today. He got the knockout, but I'm looking at Robeisy Ramirez like, man, this. How the fuck did he beat Shakir Stevenson? How did that happen?
I don't know, man.
Hell yeah, MB 2.0. He an ugly, mean-looking motherfucker. So he should have been knocking everybody out. That's Uneski Gonzalez. Big, ugly, toad-looking nigga. He an ugly motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look like she be a gang member on The Wire.
That's fucked up.
He should have been working with Avon Barksdale and shit, nigga.
That nigga should have been an extra. That nigga should have been an extra in the Tarzan movie.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, man. Y'all know what to do. We're gonna get the fuck up out of here, man. Go watch this goddamn Chris Colbert versus Hector Garcia. Again, if we come back because Chris Colbert got his ass whooped, it'll be another situation where we told y'all that Hector Garcia was somebody that Chris Colbert should not be looking over. We said that as well on the last show. All right. If Chris Colbert looks bad, we got to come back and tell y'all he looked bad because we told y'all on the last show, Hector Garcia and a fucking Olympian, right? Is somebody he should not be looking over. We said this. So we're going to find out in a few hours here what Chris Colbert got to do. But y'all know what it is, man. Go to 3kingsboxing.com for your source of pure and adulterated boxing information. Hit us up on Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, Facebook.com/3kingsboxing. We probably will come back on again tonight after Chris Colbert if anything ridiculous happens. If not, we'll be back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about the Chris Colbert fight. And, of course, the backlash and aftermath of Taylor Catterall. That shit's got to span at least 2-3 fucking videos, man. In my opinion, I think some shit's gonna come out of that. Terrence Crawford has already told this nigga to stop disrespecting me. You might see some shit from T.O. You might see a lot of shit. Josh Taylor about to get all sorts of shit. He gonna learn. Josh Taylor's going to learn that the fans don't love you, bro. He's gonna learn this. And this is why I don't stick to any fighter. That's why I stick to boxing, right? Because I know that if I said, man, I love Josh Taylor. He's the greatest fighter ever. And I was a fanboy and shit, and I was, whatever Josh Taylor did, he could do no wrong, right? Mm-hmm. My heart would be crushed right now. You know what I'm saying? It would be. Either that, or I'll be making excuses for this motherfucker. See what I'm saying? That's why being a fanboy doesn't pay. And that's exactly what Josh Taylor is about to get the wrath of. A bunch of fanboys that loved him to death. And he looked the way he looked. Oh, they about to kill this nigga, bro. And we will be there to chronicle every bit of it. So, until the next one, appreciate everybody in the chat. We out this bitch.